Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and thanks to our friends at Baduco for sponsoring this video. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious, beautiful panettone bread pudding with a warm vanilla sauce, and the combo together is just phenomenal. I will be using Baduco panettone for this recipe. It is just absolutely outstanding and really our family favorite. I love that the recipe is made with a madre dough. It does take about 52 hours for the recipe to come together, mainly because it's made with a madre dough. And you know, I love the fact that Carlo Baduco came from Italy with a madre dough, and this is how this whole recipe got started over 70 years ago. I love a brand with history I can connect to, and it's one of the reasons why I love this brand so much. But aside from that, it tastes delicious. It is, I've already cut into it because, I mean, it's as if you don't know me by now, which I know that you do. Homegirl can't help herself, okay? I need a little snack, a little cook's treat as I like to call it. So I pull it out of the bag. I like to cut it, you know, as a whole. I cut it into quarters, right? Or into 5 or 6 big pieces like that. Paper and all, and then we'll cut the paper right off. What I'm going to do is cut this baby into nice thick slices, okay? It smells, let me get that off. It smells insane. It smells like my childhood at Christmas time. It smells like my nonna on Christmas morning, like my nonna's house on Christmas morning. It's phenomenal. Don't mistake panettone with a Christmas fruitcake, please, because it's everything Christmas fruitcake is not. It's lovely and soft. It's aromatic. It's studded with delicious fruits, but it's not in an overwhelming, heavy way. It's actually quite light and soft and spongy, and for that I just love it. It's making my mouth water. It would not be Christmas in our household without panettone, and I love that Baduco uses a madre dough because that's how my nonna likes to bake her cakes around the holidays. If you're from Naples, then you're familiar with la madre, you know what I mean? And you're familiar with all of the sweet, yummy doughs that are popular around this time of year. Like if you're familiar with a casatiello, same thing, where it takes a long time for the item to proof because it's made with a madre dough, but it is just a step above the rest when it comes to baking. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my panettone. I've got my beautiful Christmas dish here. I take my panettone and I really like doing one of these. I like how it sort of staggers like that. I think it looks nice. These little bits here get a little bit, not charred, but they develop a little bit of color in the oven. I just love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally slice up my entire panettone, give or take a few pieces, give or take a few bites, and then we get going on making the custard. Panettone is in. Now in this large measuring cup, all I've got here is a combination of milk and heavy cream. I've added my eggs. I'm going to add in a good amount of vanilla extract, and I'm going to go ahead and add some vanilla sugar. You can use plain granulated sugar, of course, but I love vanilla sugar, and it just, to me, it's a very sort of reminiscent smell of my childhood. So I'm gonna go ahead and add about a half a cup. So I'm gonna eyeball it like my nonna would, but you want about a half a cup. And now you're probably thinking that's really not a ton of sugar for, you know, the large amount of panettone, you know, this large amount of a recipe. But we're gonna be making a warm vanilla sauce to drizzle over the top. It's gonna be very sweet and very luxurious and very gorgeous, and so we don't need a ton of sugar in this recipe. Now if you want to, you can add orange zest and cinnamon to your custard, but I'm getting all of my fragrance and all of that beautiful flavor from the panettone. It's already got beautiful flavorings in it, so I don't have to add anything additionally, but if you want to, you can. To me, it's already got it in there, so might as well just leave it as is because I don't want to have to do any extra work if I don't have to. I'm just going to stir this around and whisk it around just to make sure the eggs are really well combined, and this will just be perfect. I've probably eaten an entire quarter of a panettone while I was sitting here slicing it up, but it's fine. 'Tis the season. Take advantage. Now you're going to go ahead and pour this all over. Try to do it slowly and evenly because you want to make sure that every bit is covered. But also you're going to leave this to just sit out at room temperature for about 45 minutes or so, just to make sure that every little teeny tiny bit of it is soaked into that beautiful panettone, so that when it bakes, it sort of puffs up into the most delicious, gorgeous treat that you can really serve for breakfast, for dessert, special treat of whatever you're fancying. That is gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And like I said, I'm just going to leave this at room temperature for about 45 minutes or until I start to soak it all up. And then in the meantime, when it gets closer to baking time, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 so that it's ready. And then I'll gather all my goodies to make my sauce. All right, my bread pudding's been sitting here for about 45 minutes. My oven's preheated to 350. I'm gonna pop this baby in for about an hour or so, or until it's beautifully puffed and golden. Right when it's close to being ready, we'll make our warm, delicious vanilla sauce that is going to just be perfect with this. So I'm gonna go do that, and then we move on to the sauce. All right, the panettone bread pudding is in the oven still. It just needs like 5 more minutes, which is the perfect amount of time to get the warm vanilla sauce going. Very simple, very easy, but it's delicious. And somehow, with the scented flavor from the panettone and the custardy texture, and I mean, it's all phenomenal together. So all you need is some unsalted butter, brown sugar, regular sugar, a pinch of salt, a mixture of cream and whole milk, and some vanilla extract, of course. So super simple. You just take your butter, make sure it's softened at room temperature, both kinds of sugar and a pinch of salt, basically everything but the vanilla. The vanilla you always want to wait until last minute, right after we turn it off and remove it from the heat, just so that we don't burn anything out, because we really want that flavor. And all you're going to do is bring this to a gentle simmer and let it bubble away for about 5 minutes, and it will be just fantastic. You can serve it hot or warm, or you can easily just warm it up if it gets a little bit too cold. But I'm just going to go ahead and let this do its thing, keep an eye on my bread pudding, and then just sort of meet you back here to pull it all together. Sauce has been boiling and simmering for about 5 minutes, and it smells great. Now I'm going to turn this off and add a good tablespoon of good quality vanilla, because a lot of the flavor is going to come from the sauce. I make my own. See how it bubbles up when you add it to it? I make my own because I really like the best quality vanilla I can get my hands on, with lots of beans in there. That's just how I roll. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to pour it into a little pitcher. And now this is pretty much ready to top our bread pudding, which I have ready. Where's my muffin? I always forget my muffin, which I have ready, and it's been sitting here, just sort of setting and chilling for a little bit. You want your panettone bread pudding, any bread pudding for that case, for that matter, just sort of set and relax for a little bit. In an ideal world with a normal person that's not as impatient as I am, you would let this sit for another 15 minutes or so, but we don't kid each other around here. We don't pretend to be something we're not, and I just don't have a lot of patience. With children, yes. With food, none. Zero. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take a little corner for myself, even though it really should sit a little longer. Look at this. This is what I was telling you earlier. The little top pieces get so lovely and crunchy and just delicious. And you just pour your warm vanilla sauce. Oh, my mouth is salivating. The inside should be not custardy, but not dry. It should just be luscious and thick and almost velvety, and I'm just gonna dissect it because that's how I do with food, because I'm just that kind of person. Can you see how it just like perfectly set? Yeah, that's what we want. A little bit more sauce. It's like, it like melts in your mouth. The fragrant panettone just kind of like pulls the whole thing together. It is like my childhood in a bite. It's so hot though. Crunchy pieces are heaven. Delicious. Have to make it around this time of year. Grab yourself a beautiful Bauducco panettone. You will not regret it. Put it under the Christmas tree because it's an Italian thing to do. It is tradition. It is holiday. It is all the things I love. and it's just a must-have. Go to laurainthekitchen.com for the written recipe. Hope you enjoyed spending time with me.